principles. We have the person of Jesus Christ. God believed that in order for us to fully understand what God is like, we needed a person so like God that we can call him God's Son. Very often when Don and I used to drive back and forth between either Davis or Stockton in Southern California with our family here, we stop at different stops along the way, and there was this one stop that we came to. We walked in the door, and sitting waiting for a place was a young man with a little boy on his lap, maybe 2 years old. And they looked so much alike, it was unbelievable. I'd never seen a child resemble his father so much. And they're sitting there, and you couldn't help but say, that kid is his. He looks so much like the Father. That's what Jesus is like. He looks so much like God that we call him God's Son. And God realized that those of us who are human really need a human hand to show us what God is like. So that is the last part of how we can live. We live with the life and teachings and the person of Jesus Christ, a real person who lived among us and whose life was like a cool cup of water. Both scriptures that were read had a cup of cool water as a symbol for knowing Jesus. And I think that it's a great symbol to have, especially if you cross the desert or someplace where you're really thirsty. And if you realize that that is a wonderful symbol of the life and teachings of Jesus. There's a zap to that story, you know. It always intrigues me that the Christian faith is so real that it isn't some perfect thing all along. That every once in a while God puts something in, either to make us laugh or to get our attention. And in this story, Jesus is given his cool cup of water by a Samaritan, a woman that the Jews don't associate with. And she brought it up. Why are you doing this? And Jesus embraces her and says the cool cup of water can come from her. And he is like a cool cup of water. It's a little bit of a twist to a story. We'd like to have the emphasis of what Jesus is like, but here God puts this into the story just to remind us that the neighbor next door can be on the other side of the world. And somebody that we may not usually associate with may be the person who gives us that cup. So our worship today, coming here together, is central to how we live. We have each been called to be a Christian with a purpose and principles, and with Jesus Christ as our companion. And when later in the sermon, the service, we will sing, "Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place," we are touched, and we are healed, and we are loved. If you haven't thought those words, think of them today. When we are singing that, each one of us, the ones we do not know, maybe we've never seen before perhaps, or we know really well, each of us can be touched and healed and loved. Because this is how we live. We live with joy, with purpose, principle, the presence of Jesus, and overall, with great, great